Hello, and welcome to Cooking with Todd. This is Todd. For today's video, I have decided to make shrimp scampi. For this recipe, you are going to need about 12 to 20 shrimp, depending on how many shrimp you want each person to have. I am making enough for 2 people, and I've decided to do 20 shrimp, so that's 10 per serving. You're also going to need some angel hair pasta, and this right here is pot size, so it's about half the length of your standard pasta length, which I actually prefer this. You're also going to need about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. You're going to need 3 cloves of garlic, 1 large shallot. This is a medium shallot. I already have that prepared in the back. You're going to need 2 lemons. You're going to need 100 milliliters of white wine. You're also going to need 55 grams or 4 tablespoons of butter. You're going to need 2 tablespoons of capers. You're also going to need 100 milliliters of chicken stock. If you would want to use seafood stock, you can use seafood stock, but I don't have none of that on hand. You're also going to need 60 grams of cherry or grape tomatoes. These are grape tomatoes that I just cut lengthwise. You're going to need some basil. I don't have no fresh basil, so I'm using some of this lightly dried basil. And you're also going to need some Parmesan, and this is my favorite brand right here. And I preferred this brand because it's right at the sweet spot for aging. In my opinion, a perfectly aged Parmesan is about 20 to 24 months. If it's under 18 months, it's not aged long enough. And if it's over 24 months, it starts to become very grainy. So this is like the sweet spot for me right here. To get started, I have a 4-quart sauce pot on my back burner that has just came up to a boil. And I salted the water very liberally. And I went ahead and covered that with a lid to help bring it up to a boil faster. I'm going to go ahead and switch my angle over to the stove and go ahead and start preparing this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start by heating a large skillet over medium heat. And I'm going to start by adding about 1 tablespoon of my olive oil. And I'm going to wait until that heats up a little bit. Since I just turned my burner on, it's going to take about a minute or so, so I'm going to go ahead and just pause and bring you back. Okay, so the oil has came up to temp now, and I did raise the heat for just about 30 seconds there to help it. I'm going to go ahead and add in my shallots. And I'm going to go ahead and cook this for about 1 minute right here. And after 1 minute, I'm going to go ahead and crush in my garlic. But while that's sauteing there, I'm going to go ahead and start zesting my lemons with a zester. And I'll go ahead and bring you back when I'm getting ready to add in the garlic. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and crush my garlic in. These are starting to get a little brown, which is what I was looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and just crush this in. And grab my knife and just and I just had a little bit of butter on the back of that knife, so nothing really to worry about. I'm going to go ahead and just give this a quick stir. This is going to take about 30 seconds right here. While that shallot was sauteing there, I went ahead and zested my lemon, and I got about a tablespoon of zest here, and I juiced my lemon also. I am going to go ahead and add in my white wine to deglaze, and I am going to cook this until it is almost evaporated. And that right there is one reason why I don't really like gas stoves, but I actually love gas stoves. If you're adding a alcohol-based beverage or whatever into a pan over gas, there is the potential of it flaming up. But that is why you would cut the heat when you're adding that, so there is no flame underneath the skillet. So I'm going to go ahead and just let this evaporate here. It's going to take about a minute. And I'm going to go ahead and turn my heat back on high for my pasta. And I'm going to get ready to add that in. Alright, that's going to take about another 30 seconds, so I'm going to go ahead and pause this so I can go ahead and get the rest of my ingredients prepped right quick. Okay, so this right here is what I'm looking for my wine. It is pretty much evaporated now. So I'm going to go ahead and add in my chicken stock. And I'm going to rinse this out with a little extra water. Just because I used the Better Than Bouillon, so there's a little residual left in there that did not get incorporated with the water. I'm going to go ahead and add in my lemon zest at this time too, along with my cherry tomatoes or grape tomatoes, whatever you're using. I'm also going to go ahead and add in my capers. And finally, my lemon juice, which I sifted through a fine mesh strainer. And I'm going to go ahead and just give this a quick stir. And just lower the heat to a medium-low and add in the rest of that fell off to the side. And I'm going to go ahead and just let this simmer here until it thickens up a little more. And I'm going to actually go ahead and add in my pasta right now. And I'm looking for enough for about 2 people. So that much right there should be about enough. And I'm not adding no oil to the water either. The oil will just prevent the sauce from sticking. So that's why I don't want to add oil to that. I'll just go ahead and bring you back once I'm getting ready to do the next step. Okay, so the sauce is thickening up just a hair. So I am going to go ahead and start preparing my shrimp. Just like this. And I'm just going to salt and pepper just one side of this. So I'm just going to grab my salt and pepper shaker. Just salt and pepper it right on the counter. And I am going to go ahead and just start dropping this right in here. Just like so. And you're just looking to put these down evenly. You do not want any double layers of shrimp, as that can cause the shrimp to cook unevenly. And you do not want to overcook the shrimp. At this point, it's only going to take about 2 minutes to cook the shrimp. So about 1.5 minutes on one side, and then about 30 to 45 seconds on the other. And at that time, it's pretty much done. But the sauce isn't done at that time. That's kind of why I'm saying about 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, somewhere around in there. You'll know when the shrimp is done if you have any experience with cooking shrimp. But I'm going to go ahead and just let this cook here and raise my heat back up to about a medium. And just let this cook here. And I will go ahead and bring you back when I get to the next part. Okay, so the sauce is pretty much done right now. I am going to go ahead and just cut the heat off. And I'm going to go ahead and drop in my butter. And I am going to go ahead and just start mixing the butter in. And I'm going to let this sauce sit here for about 1 minute. My noodles are already done, and I have already drained them. So I'm going to just let this sit here for about 1 minute. Then I'm going to go ahead and add my noodles into this sauce mixture. I normally prefer my sauce to be a little thicker, but I added my pasta just a little too early today. But that's fine. Alright, so right there is fine. I'm actually going to add my pasta in right now, since it was just a tad hard still when I drained it. So I'm going to go ahead and add in my pasta. And give this another good stir. And this pasta will also soak up some additional moisture out of this. So also at this time you would want to go ahead and taste it for salt, but I'm pretty confident with how much salt I put on the shrimp and how much salt was in everything else that I added. Like the chicken broth is enough to season this efficiently. And also, if you would want to, you could add some red chili flakes at the time you add in your chicken broth, lemon juice and zest and all that. You could add that in then. But I decided not to do that today. I went ahead and added in my basil, and I'm going to go ahead and give this another stir. Give the basil a little bit of a chance to kind of rehydrate, since it is slightly dried. And this right here is pretty much it. This is how I make my shrimp scampi. Now I'm going to go ahead and just end this video right here, since this only has to sit here for about a minute or so. And before I forget, which I did, when you're plating this is when you're going to want to put that Parmesan on. You're not going to want to add the Parmesan right now. So after you put it on the plates and everything is when you'll add that. So I'm going to go ahead and just end this video right here. I hope everybody enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure you smash that like button. And if you're not subscribed already, make sure you smash that subscribe button too. And if you are already subscribed, but you do not have the bell icon smashed, go ahead and smash that too, so you'll be notified when I upload another video. And as always, thank you for watching, and I hope you continue to come along and enjoy watching me on this journey of mine.